Welcome to Financial Focus, brought to you by Gulf Coast Financial Services founder and CEO, John Kuykendall. John and his team of financial, legal, and tax professionals have provided North Florida savers and investors sound, comprehensive financial guidance for over 25 years, helping you to achieve important life and planning goals. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more Financial Focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net.
Welcome into the program. This is Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named 7 years and running by the Lake City Reporter. They are the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services, and founder CEO John Kuykendall here with us, providing us the guidance, the information, and perspective to uncomplicate the financial world. As always, John, we appreciate the time and the information.
Well, thank you, Peter. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to the show today. We finally gotten some warm weather after all the rain, and things are looking up. Been able to get in the pool a little bit and develop my tan a little bit, which has been lacking this summer.
The things that we do over the summer months. Right? It's always a tough life here in Florida, North Central Florida. We get a little bit of every kind of weather, the rain, the sun, got to enjoy it all.
Well, I gave up on that Greek god body, and I'm just working on the tan now.
Do what we can with what we have, right?
Got to work with what God gave you.
Well, and that's the case with our finances too. We got to work with what we have and then plan to make the most out of it. And John, I know that you've got a whole process where you help individuals review the current tools, accounts, investments that they have. You run through kind of an analysis of that, the fees, the risks that they're taking, how it's structured to provide for future goals, and then you design and construct a plan. And that's really the foundation for the conversations moving forward from that point, is how does this plan reflect where we are currently and what we can do with what we have?
Well, Peter, that's right. We have to ask, we ask what's your dreams? What do you want? What are you planning on doing in retirement? And if you're going to have an active retirement and you're going to take care of all the risk that we'll talk about later that we're going to have during retirement, then you've got to start now, and you've got to start with a plan. And the plan is the nucleus from which we develop everything else out of the plan. It's kind of like I've always said, you can't go down the road without a road map anymore, or a GPS. And I like the analogy that, you go to the mall, you get lost. What do? The first thing you do is look for that big billboard, right, that says you are here.
Yep.
And then you look where you're going. And without a plan, what you're doing is you're just walking the mall and you're not knowing what store's coming up next.
And then you risk window shopping and spending more than you anticipated.
Or going into a lot more shops than you wanted to with your wife. I can tell you that.
I tell you, when I used to go to the mall, and it's admittedly, it's been a while, but I used to try to make a point of getting in and out as fast as possible. I know it was kind of a destination for hangouts for younger folks, but I had business I had to take care of. I needed one item. I needed to get it and get out as soon as I could.
Well, too, and if you're shopping with your wife, you want to make sure to kind of avoid those stores that she likes. And so you kind of got to have a roadmap to do that. You got to know the outlay. And without an income plan, a financial focus plan, you're really not focused totally on having the great retirement that everyone deserves. And, we need to take, we're going to have to take retirement in our own hands. Mm-hmm. We know that the government's not going to take care of it for us. The 40% of the people living on Social Security are basically senior poverty. We're talking about now a whole class of individuals that are seniors that are on poverty because they don't have enough income. So we need to make sure that we're doing what we need to do for us and to have that kind of lifestyle. And, I tell our clients that there are a lot of different roadblocks that we have to take along the way. And that financial focus plan will help us take some of those out. And I know we talk about risk over and over again here, but lately, I'm really concerned about taxes. I'm concerned about how much taxes are going to cost us going forward. They're continually increased. I'm concerned about inflation. I mean, every time I go to the grocery store, and I try not to go, I'd rather send my wife and not know how much she's buying. But $7.98 for a pound of hamburger. I mean, come on, people. When I'm retired, I still want to be able to eat some meat and enjoy myself. And we have to be concerned about inflation. And I think that a lot of times we're so focused on asset allocation and how much money I've accumulated that we're not concerned about how long that money's going to last me and what am I going to do to protect it, and how am I going to get through retirement and not have the most dreaded thing that any senior wants to have, and that's say, I'm out of money and I got to go live with the kids.
Yep. Well, a recent article from Plan Sponsor cited a LIMRA study, and that study stated that only 31% of non-retired investors believe that they will have enough to retire. Now, here's a big distinction to me. 50% of investors with a written plan felt confident, while only 17% of investors without a written plan felt confident. That is a big separation. Now, I'd love it to be 100%, but realistically, even with a plan in place, people still have concerns. They still have doubts and worries. But that plan, having a written plan, significantly increased the confidence level of those that had that plan in place. And thinking about your timeline, thinking about when is the right time to retire, that helps us be more confident. Putting it in writing helps us be more confident, John, that we won't face that number one fear of running out of money or not having enough.
Yeah, that's true. And what was interesting was that those who are retired, 52%, wish they had thought about that before they retired earlier than when they did.
Yep.
I mean, it's something that we have to think about. We cannot procrastinate on retirement. And unfortunately, life happens and we get involved in kids, we get involved in life. Then later we get involved in grandkids, and all we can think about is them and what they're doing. And we forget that one day we're not going to be able to retire. There was that thing the sheet we had, which, are you ready to retire?
Yeah.
I thought that was really good with, about 12 things there that would help you get ready for retirement. Because it takes into consideration, do you have a retirement income plan placed in writing? Do you know what your cash flow is in your portfolio? Will your portfolio throw off enough income to support your lifestyle, or are you going to be draining it and pulling out when the market's down? Those are all great things to worry about.
Yeah, well, always offering additional resources and help and support for your clients and those that may not yet be clients that are tuned into the podcast can take advantage as well. But ladies and gentlemen, whether you have gone through the planning process with Gulf Coast Financial Services already or not, this simple one-page list of 12 questions to know if you are ready to retire, very valuable. And again, even if you've already got the plan, thinking about that may further increase your confidence in your preparedness. So give a call and request the Are You Ready to Retire list of 12 questions to know how prepared you are. It goes through the entire process from a very high level, talking about the math of it, talking about the risks to address, talking about the different streams of income to consider all of your options with. So a very helpful one-page list of 12 questions. And again, if you've already got a plan or want to double check that plan or don't yet have a plan, I think that this will be helpful. 386-755-9018. Always the number to be in touch with the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services and request any of the resources that you hear on the program. And if you are listening to the podcast, watching the video version of the simulcast podcast here, like, subscribe, share, and in the description of the video or the podcast, we try to provide links as well. But very easy to visit the website, gulfcoastfinancialservices.net, and request any of the resources from the website there, or begin the process of getting that plan put together. John, something that you have helped many who tune into this podcast each week with already. What are those beginning steps? How does that process take shape from getting that plan in place and then having that plan in our hands?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you, how much money do you think you're going to need to live on retirement? So what we're going to do is work up a budget for you, what you're spending right now. Now, the old thing was that when we retire, we will actually need less money than when we were working. And that, in most cases nowadays, is not true, Peter. We need almost as much money now in retirement as we're going to need as we needed while we were working.
Well, that inflation factor, things have gotten more expensive, right, John?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Inflation, taxes, everything's gotten more expensive. And so as that continues to increase, then we're going to have some way to have increasing income. So we're going to build that in. We're going to look at your assets. We're going to look at how much money you have saved up, how you're saving, what we can do to make changes in how much you're saving, or how we can make changes in your asset, what you're invested in. So we're going to take a look at that, come up with an income plan where we stretch that out over a 25, 30-year retirement. And then we're going to take into consideration taxes. We're going to take into consideration maximizing Social Security. I want you to file at the right time. There are a lot of ways to file. Someone sent me an email this weekend and said, hey, I'm going to let my husband file on me and he'll file next year. The problem is he wasn't eligible to file on her then because she isn't full retirement age. So the little things like that, we can help make that. We'll help make sure you don't make a mistake and we get to maximize Social Security.
Yeah, if we're pointing at each other, at least one of the people needs to be filing themselves on their own benefits.
Right.
That was something that we were able to do several years ago, but they sort of closed that unintended loophole, they called it.
Yeah, the file and suspend they pretty much did away with, but there's still some loopholes that we can use to maximize your Social Security and to give you more income as we go forward. And don't forget, as we've said on this show numerous times, that if you're a couple, when one of you die, you're going to take a significant decrease in income because we're going to lose one Social Security check. We may lose pensions and some other things that we need to look at. We want to make sure that everything is calculated. We're going to look at Medicare. We're going to look at Medicare supplements. We're going to help you walk through that process. We're going to show you when we can file and when we can't. If you're over 65 and you're already in an employee plan, you don't need to sign up for Part B. You know how many people are paying extra money because they sign up for Part B at age 65 because the government gives us A, and they're paying that premium, and then they're also paying their regular premium at work. You don't need to do that, so we'll help you there. So we're going to come up with a complete estate planning. We're going to come up with a complete plan.
Determining time horizon for certain events that need to happen into the future. Yes. We're going to make sure that as those time horizons hit, we're going to know what we can do and where we're going. And we're going to come up with that income plan to take you up to age 90 and beyond as we go forward, so that we can make sure that you have enough lifestyle money so that you can live the lifestyle you want. You know, it used to be all about inheritance. Everyone that came in wanted to make sure they left their kids enough money. Well, we've gone away from that because it takes so much now in retirement that if there's any money left over, that's great. But the main thing is to provide for the retirees for their lifestyle. Well, again, that's where the confidence of having that plan in place will benefit you. And if we've got a plan that provides for our own needs for the rest of our lifetime, John, then we have dramatically increased the chances that we ultimately leave something behind as well, at least a positive mental remembrance and impact if we don't become burdensome on our family at the very least. But oftentimes when we've got that plan, it's extended far beyond that.
Oh, yeah, Peter. And you know, I read a number this morning that 18% of people have done estate planning. And so we're going to make sure that all of our clients at least hear about it, sign a waiver that we've talked about it, because I want to make sure that they have a will, a power of attorney, and a health surrogate form, and a living will minimum for each of them. And we're going to help them with an attorney that we send them to, or they can be referred to so that they can get those documents drawn. We really believe that we want to do everything we can help you with to make sure that you have the best retirement that you can have, and that we cover all the bases, show you RMD, schedule certain events with taxes, let you know where you're going with your taxes, So many people nowadays don't do enough tax planning that they're just running the gamut of, I don't care what I'm paying, I got to pay it anyway. Well, there are ways that we can stop things and defer things so that we don't end up having to pay all the taxes this year, and we can put them forward next year. So if you want that trip to Egypt and you're going to spend 10 grand, it may throw you into a different tax bracket. Let's find out about that, and then we can defer that trip and pay it in 2 years.
Ahead of time. That's the benefit of planning, is these things ahead of time, because you're having those conversations about goals and dreams and hopes and desires and the things that your clients want to do. You are the sounding board for those from a financial perspective to make sure that they are feasible, and you continue to be that resource for the clients. Once the plan is constructed, it's not set it and forget it and we never talk about it again. It is the world changes around us. Our own situation changes. Maybe we've got different dreams this year and different trips that we want to take than we did last year. So you're talking with your clients about those on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, we are. And we love it. I had a client come in a couple of months ago, and they said, okay, we're going to take a trip to the Holy Land. It's going to be this much money. How do you think we need to plan for it? Because we need to pay part of it this year and part of it next, or do we need to pay all of it now? It's great working with people before things happen. After they happen, they're a little hard to correct. And so we really want our clients to feel like that we're part of that decision-making process. It's their money, but we want to help make sure that we give them all the facts and then they can make the decision. That's what we're here for. And as we say, the financial focus income plan is a living, breathing document that has to be updated from time to time, preferably every year. But anytime anything significant happens, and one of the worst things that can happen, Peter, and we're having it more and more now, is senior divorce. That's creating another whole class of people out there who are really suffering because we're dividing assets at the worst time of our life.
Well, talk about life circumstances changing. That's unfortunate that happens, but it does. And so we've got to adapt and evolve the financial picture and the plan at that point in time, most certainly. John, you mentioned two other things that you said you were concerned about here: inflation and taxes. If we've got a plan together, one of your current clients is sharing these concerns with you, what are those conversations now looking like in your office as you are reviewing where we stand, and are concerns with those things continuing to be issues into the future?
Well, with taxes, we need to do a lot more planning, because somebody's going to sell a house, sell a piece of rental property or whatever. We need to know how that's going to affect them and when we need to take it. We're finding, or you get an unexpected bonus. We've had several people get a buyout. And so we've had to go in and help them explain to Medicare and Social Security that this was a one-time thing and get some waivers, which we've been able to do. But it's going to more tax planning has to be done going forward, because taxes are going to increase. So as we get into different tax brackets, we don't want to pay any more money than we have to. Capital gains is going up, so we want to make sure if they've got stock that they've got highly appreciated, we want to be able to phase in those sales. We want to be able to make sure that we understand when we're going to take that profit. With the inflation, we are, historically, the historical inflation rate has been 3.8%. Mm-hmm. Very few people plan that. If you look at most plans, they say 2%. Well, we're actually using the 3.8 in our models, because I want to plan for what is the average over a period of time. And hopefully there'll be years that it won't go up that much, but there are going to be years it's going to go over that much. And as we see which way direction inflation goes, and we'll change those numbers up, we'll never change them back down, because I don't think inflation will ever be lower than it is now. So going forward, it's going to take a lot more money. At almost 4%, your money doubles pretty quickly, or your expenses double. And so we've got to make sure we can accomplish that during the plan. That is takes a lot more thinking now than we used to think about it. And you also got to remember that Social Security is not keeping up with inflation. because the while we have the cost of living increases that they give us, they're certainly nowhere close to inflation.
So, John, we've talked about the LIMRA study and the plan sponsor article. Such a huge difference. 17% of investors without a written plan feel confident. 50% with a written plan feel confident. A significant increase there. So having that plan, and then in addition, conducting those regular reviews of the plan with your planning professional, with a qualified advisor, your team there at Gulf Coast Financial Services. The goals are to identify strategies that can get us to our goals quicker, that can reduce risks, and that can leverage our dollars to help us achieve more of our financial goals.
Well, that's right, Peter. And, you know, being retired doesn't mean that we're just going to sit down and watch Westerns all day. It means that we're going to do things up until we can't do them. And so we have to continue to live life. And I want to make sure that with a financial focus plan, that we're living life to the fullest as a retiree. I mean, you know, you hate to say I got to sit home all day because I can't go out to eat.
Well, I'm going to be cheesy here, but without that plan in place, it's a question of, do you feel lucky, punk? Right?
Make my day, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
A written plan, so many benefits.
Yeah.
The highest of which being, John, the confidence that it gives us in our lasting quality of life and building toward and then making it through retirement. The plan's not going to stay the same forever. That's why I encourage people, A, to get the plan in place, but B, to come in and do those regular reviews on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, I'm always amazed, Peter, at the people that come in and we work up a plan for them and they say, you know, I'd really like to retire, but I just don't think I can. And then we work up the plan and we show them how they can retire. And then they work for another 2 or 3 years because it's not work anymore.
The weight is lifted once you know you can.
I can walk away anytime I want to.
You have a whole different attitude showing up to work with that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you know it. I mean, it's not like you're working for the man anymore. You're working for yourself. And so that's what the plan will do. It'll give you the confidence, the ability to see where you're going and build that roadmap for your retirement.
Well, if you would like a financially focused retirement plan, ladies and gentlemen, pick up the phone, give a call. John Kuykendall, his team there at Gulf Coast Financial Services, sister company Gulf Coast Tax Advantage, can look at your situation from a number of different angles and help you identify strategies to achieve your goals more quickly or more securely, or be more efficient with your money, or leverage your dollars to help you achieve multiple goals, income for life and leaving a legacy behind. If you've got the plan in place, the odds are that you will increase the likelihood of achieving those goals and increase your confidence and quality of life day to day. So pick up the phone, give a call. They do not charge for design and construction of the plan. Yep. You implement the plan with them. There will be a conversation about how that works and how you work together for mutual benefit. But get started and get that plan at the very least. 386-755-9018. 386-755-9018. Sorry, John, you were saying?
I was saying my watch was ringing.
Those are the calls coming in. People want those plans.
Yeah. Wait till we get off the air here. Come on. Yeah. We really enjoy this. This is part of our mission. It's part of our way of giving back to the community, just like that we love to do. So give us a call. Come in and get the plan. We'd love to work one up for you.
386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. The link included in the description below the podcast if you're watching online, or you can go directly to their website. Lots of additional information and resources and blogs and podcasts available at gulfcoastfinancial.net, gulfcoastfinancial.net. Or again, the easiest way, just give a call now. 386-755-9018. John, great kind of reviewing the basics of why it's so important to have a plan with you.
It is, Peter, and it really is important for everyone out there.
Well, pick up the phone. Don't procrastinate. That's the enemy of progress. It's not your friend. Never too late to plan, and always best to do it with a qualified, experienced advisor, has the perspective that's seen what's worked and what hasn't worked in the past, and then you can benefit from the experience of that professional. John Kuykendall, his team there for you. 386-755-9018. John, always a pleasure, and we do appreciate the time and perspective that you provide.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting gulfcoastfinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.